According to Class and the Transition to Adulthood by Annette LaRue, different parenting styles can be related to one's social class and affect a child's transition from high school to college. The middle class tends to use a parenting style referred to as concerted cultivation. When a child is raised under this model, the parents step in more often to help their child plan for things such as college, monitor their child's activity in school, and often provide financial assistance because they have capable resources. They can take paid vacation days to go on college visits with their college-bound child, and they have the financial availability to pay for college applications and possibly even the college of their child's choice. The working class, on the other hand, tends to use the accomplishment of natural growth parenting style. In this model, parents assume that if they provide their children with love, food, and clothe them, and keep them safe, the children will grow and thrive spontaneously. The natural growth model allows for children to learn for themselves and make independent choices in their lives. While parents are less likely to help their children with advice or direct help with schooling because of lack of time, money, and frankly their own experience in higher education. Parents of the natural growth model tend to be less involved in the transition from high school to college, therefore leaving their children on their own ventures and endeavors. These parents of this model are more likely to help their children out with transportation to and from work, provide babysitting, or stepping up to help them to get jobs or job interviews. As a group, we too were interested in this concept and conducted a similar small-scale study, but incorporated the race factor that the original study left out to see if we could create different results when the aspect of race is included. To recap, concerted cultivation is connected with middle class ideas. According to Michael Zwing's What's Class Got to Do with It?, the middle class is a term that is almost always used to describe people in the middle of the income distribution. Middle class workers are people who work for a wage but live comfortable in modest lives, especially in good producing industries. Unionized workers have been able to win wages that allow home ownership, paid vacations, nice cars, home entertainment centers, and other consumer amenities. The accomplishment of natural growth model is often tied with the working class. Zwing suggests that working class is made up of people who, when they go to work or when they act as citizens, have comparatively little power or authority. For our study, we examined parental involvement during the college application process. We can use the results from our survey to see if different results are achieved when the category of race is tied into the study. The authors of Class and the Transition to Adulthood note that for concerted cultivation model, middle-class parents generally consider it appropriate to closely monitor the behavior of institutional agents, such as teachers and other school officials, and to intervene on behalf of their children if they deem that their children's best interests are not being served. The model of natural growth has a very different view. Working class parents consider these agents' authority and responsibility to be broad and not open to challenge. There is also an area in which students that work to get into colleges are rejected, not based on their merit, but merely upon their lineage. We surveyed 31 college students about parental involvement in their life, about all things college applications, college visits, college scheduling, and beyond. To incorporate the race factor in our study, we simply added the demographic question of, with what do you identify with? For this study, we examined white versus non-white students. Our sample consists of 23 white students and 8 non-white students. Overall, 19 out of 31 students, or 61% of the students in our sample, responded that their parents accompanied them on their college visit. Out of those 19 students, 16 or 70% were white, and 3 students or 30% were non-white. Overall, 19 out of 31 students responded that their parents did not accompany them on a college visit. This equates to 16 or 70% of white students responding that their parents accompanied them, and 3 or 38% of non-white students. This means that parents of white students accompany their children on college visits at a higher rate than parents of non-white students. We also asked students about whether their parents helped them pick their college courses or major. Only 60%, or 5 students, answered yes, all of which were white. This means that the majority of parents, regardless of race, did not participate in the selection of courses and majors of their children. Since LaRue and Wagner used social class in the analysis of their study, so did we. In order to measure social class, we asked students about how their college tuition was paid for. 23%, or 7 students, reported that their tuition was paid for with a scholarship, over half of which, 4, were non-white. 35%, or 11 students, paid their own tuition, nearly 3/4 of which are white. 26%, or 8 students, reported that their parents paid their tuition, all but 1 being white. The tuition for the remaining 5 students was paid for by other, or a combination of methods, representing 13% of the non-white students and 17% of the white students. We do not believe that race plays a factor in the other combination or methods. We believe that the results of our research show that while not significant, it seems that a great deal of parental behavior is driven by cultural repertoires that vary sharply across social classes and racial groups. Within this finding, we conclude that factors leading up to higher education and parental involvement vary across race and parental parenting styles. We are all struggling across races, but social class produces the hierarchy. Thank you.